One of the most famous streets in the U.S., Bourbon Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. Bama getting ready to take on LSU for the BCS National Championship, and your home team is here. Bama gear already hitting the shops here in New Orleans. Find out who's buying more, Bama fans or LSU fans. And we'll go behind the scenes to see how a very famous New Orleans dessert is made. WVUA News at 6 starts right now.
This is WVUA News with special championship week coverage from Alabama's home team.
We are glad you're with us. I'm Lynn Brooks live in New Orleans. Philip Coleman will join us in just a moment. Alabama's home team very happy to be coming to you from the Big Easy, where in just 5 days, Bama will be in that big BCS National Championship. The team, in fact, just arrived, about an hour ago. And our own WVUA Sports Director Gary Harris joins me now live. Gary, the team's got to be just charged up.
Yeah, they're charged up. We're getting charged up. I'm glad they're here. You know, we got in yesterday afternoon, and it was all Michigan and Virginia Tech.
That's right.
For the Sugar Bowl. So the transition has begun. The Michigan fans and Virginia Tech fans are departing. Alabama fans starting to roll in. The team, as you mentioned, Lynn, getting here just a short time ago. Our Bradley Whittington and Todd Hoyer were at the airport tonight at 10. We'll have a reaction from Trent Richardson, Mark Barron, and Nick Saban. But the first practice in the Superdome won't take place until tomorrow. So most of the work's been done in Tuscaloosa.
Right, and as you said, not a practice yet here in New Orleans. So the last indication we had of the team was a practice in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, they actually practiced there this morning. We've got some video because we've covered every practice in Tuscaloosa. The final Tuscaloosa practice coming this morning. And it's like Nick Saban says, you have to practice like a champion to play like a champion. In fact, he always says, if you don't prepare well, you've got no chance in the game. But Lynn, by all accounts, Alabama's had a great series of practice sessions in Tuscaloosa to get ready for this game. So really here in New Orleans, all they're going to do is fine-tune, game plan, and play the football game. I think most of the critical work has already been done back in Alabama.
All right, thanks a lot, Gary. More from you in just a bit. And although that big game is still 5 days away, you're already starting to see some crimson and white and purple and gold hit the local vendors around here. We have some video to show you. Earlier today, we caught up with JEB Enterprises Souvenir Shop. They are set up in downtown New Orleans near the Doubletree Hotel. They've been set up all week selling Sugar Bowl gear. You heard Gary talking about that. Right now, they're switching over. They're selling that Bama LSU stuff. Tim Johnson with the souvenir shop told us they're selling more LSU gear, but never fear, he expects that to change later this week.
Right now, we're still kind of closing out the Sugar Bowl, so we've seen some Alabama fans here in town, but we're expecting many more in the next couple of days. So.
And with lots of Bama and LSU fans arriving here in the city of New Orleans, a lot of people just soaking up the sights and the sounds. But if you know anything about New Orleans, you know, mostly it's about the taste. You food lovers, yeah, you're gonna love this. One tasty tradition that's been around for more than a century is made over at Café du Monde, one of the original coffee stands in the French market. They had those delicious beignets. They're delicious, but they consist of just a few ingredients, and it's basically a French donut. We spoke with the vice president of Café du Monde, Jay Romans, who says on any given day they could expect thousands of people to take part in eating their delicious beignets, many of those parts of a family who have been coming to the cafe for generations.
We have people that come in from out of town, people that come from Alabama and came here as a child, and they come here and they have that memory and they want to come back and relive it with their children or their grandchildren. So we get a lot of people that come back.
And much more from Café du Monde later on tonight on WVUA News at 10, including why if you go there, you may want to pack yourself a few extra napkins. Good tips for you tonight. For a lot of people, though, Alabama football was the last thing on many people's minds in those days following that tragic day on April 27th when the deadly tornado ripped through the heart of the city. But some of the good news that came out of that tragedy was that there were a lot of very special bonds formed during that time. Our own Matt McCoy joins me now live with more on that story. Matt, a lot of positive things came out of that tragedy.
You know, you go into all this destruction and devastation in Tuscaloosa, the one thing that you see on a lot of these houses that are completely destroyed are their Alabama flags. They're still flying and showing their Tide pride. And that was one thing when I talked to everybody, it was all about the Tide helping out the tornado victims and vice versa.
Your safe place right now. We have a tornado on the ground. Again, we're watching live from our Tuscaloosa tower camera, looking to the southwest side of Tuscaloosa. There's Bryant-Denny Stadium at the bottom of your screen.
And with the stadium as its forefront, the massive EF4 tornado cut a path of destruction, taking 52 lives, injuring countless others.
I could see the air conditioning unit. It was laying on her head, and I run over to her and grabbed the unit and threw it off of her. And she wasn't responding to anything, so I dropped to my knees and put her head in my lap. My daughter started hollering, "Mama, Mama," and when she said, "Mama, Mama," she opened her eyes.
Opened her eyes to a town that would now have the monumentous task of rebuilding 12% of its city. Just over a week after thousands of fans poured into the Druid City to watch the annual A-Day game, members of the Alabama football team, along with Coach Saban and his wife Terry, left football behind and put their road to recovery ahead.
Nick Saban was huge with his guys actually doing the physical labor in Alberta City. When football season came around, it was like it all came together.
It's been 8 months, 11 wins, and one devastating loss ago, and now the roles have reversed, with Tuscaloosa rallying behind a team that once rallied behind them.
It's not every day that you have a tornado like April 27 and then the football team going so hard and working so hard to get in the national championship.
To have that national championship and to have the people of this city to be able to have something to be proud of is just, it's huge. I mean, it's just, it is. You talk about poetic. I mean, you have to sit back and just say, wow, how did this all come about?
You know, Lynn, we'll find out Monday if that fairy tale will come true for the Tide, but we also can't forget about New Orleans and Louisiana and the LSU fans. They're still kind of recovering from that 2005 hurricane that came through here with Hurricane Katrina, so both teams still recovering, and hopefully the football will re-energize the communities, but you know, hopefully the Tide will come out on top, but we'll see.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. And we've got lots more live coverage coming to you live from here in New Orleans, but for now, let's take you back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, thanks a lot, Lynn. Now, here in T-Town, signs of new life are showing up in Tuscaloosa. 2 Alabama organizations have joined together to plant new trees. It's called Trees for Life. Forest Lake Baptist Church teamed up with Dodd Nurseries of Mobile to make the event possible. The trees will be given away this Saturday at Forest Lake Wings of Grace. For more information, call 759-1039. We now head back to New Orleans, where Lynn Brooks joins us once again live with more of our BCS National Championship coverage. Lynn.
Stick around. We've got lots more great home team coverage right here from New Orleans, and predictions flying high on exactly who will come out on top in that big rematch. We will hear from Tuscaloosa County leaders. It's interesting what they have to say. You'll find out. And the Alabama men's basketball team looks primed and ready for the start of the SEC season. Gary Harris will join us live from here in New Orleans with more. You are looking at the city of New Orleans, where Alabama's home team is bringing you WVUA News at 6 live. And football fever, of course, in full swing. And we've seen it a lot since we've been here in New Orleans. Everybody, with us being an Alabama crew, everybody wanting to talk to us about their predictions, whether they believe the Crimson Tide will come out on top or whether LSU will come out on top. So we spent some time today, our crew in Tuscaloosa, out and about with Tuscaloosa County leaders to see exactly who they're seeing as coming out on top come Monday night.
Alabama will win by points.
I think it's
You say
17 to 13.
Of course, that answer will come Monday, January 9th. Your home team will be there.